So Supermax is your non-stimulant version. They both have a double dose of moringa, and the XM Plus has a little bit of extra herbs for boosting your immunity. So ginger, ginseng, desert tea is the actual caffeine, I believe.
And the Supermax is that it's for the people that can't take the stimulants. So,
Right.
so that's a lot of people, they need that.
So her question was, what's the difference between XM Plus and Supermax? For those of you guys that didn't hear. But yeah, good question. Anyone else have questions? Yeah, Marilyn.
What if you want the energy pack but you can't take the XM?
Switch it around. Okay, she said, what if you want the products that are in the energy bundle but you can't take the XM? Okay, I would probably say, yeah, you're gonna have to buy them individually. And now they do have the CBD tea, so that's an option too. But yeah, if you can't take the XM because of caffeine or whatever it is, probably do Supermix and probably, yeah, the Intune.
And what we've done too, I mean, since we have a team of people, you could, there's a lot of people that would have extra product that you could trade out with. So, I mean, I know some people carry some products, so that we could probably try to help make that happen, because that is an unbelievable bundle. But if you can't take the stimulants, you can't take the stimulants. That's just the way it is.
When I first started, this doesn't get mentioned a lot because a lot of people aren't caffeine sensitive, but when I first started, I did a quarter of a packet of XM Plus, probably for over a year. I think Rachel was kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did a half packet or something like that. So you might find, because it is where you can decrease the amount, you could try with a quarter of a pack or a half a packet.
Yeah,
And
I did the super mix, and then I would, add in, like you said, like a quarter to a half a pack of the XM Plus, and then all of a sudden I worked up, to a whole packet. So
yeah, your body changes over time, and that's why we recommend even rotating, capsules and things like that. So your body chemistry will change. I know now I can do a full XM Plus no problem, but at the beginning it would make me jittery just because the way my system was.
I also make her jittery sometimes.
Any other
is this
questions?
live? Okay, great.
Any concerns with the CBD and drug testing?
Okay, it is, the thing I love about our CBD and the Intune patch, that's a good question. So her question was, any concerns about the CBD and drug testing? A lot of people we know, right, are nurses and police officers, detectives, all those kind of things that you're getting tested all the time. And so I totally understand that concern. Big thing is every batch of our CBD patches has a lot number. So you can look on that box, literally flip it over and see the lot number, and go to zetadifference.com. You'll be able to put that lot number in and see all the testing that's been done on that particular batch, which is awesome. So they're going to guarantee purity, which is amazing. The other thing is it's 0.3% THC, and that is just the negligible amount of THC that's automatically in industrial hemp. So what we're finding is it's just not nearly enough. It's under 1%. Nobody has tested positive. The company will never say that you won't test positive because that's a suing liability. But the thing is, we've not seen any single person, and we've had hundreds of people tested that have been tested positive. And at least
we've had several people. We've had the police, chiefs, people that drive trucks. I mean, people that will lose their jobs.
Right.
And so there's, especially with the people that would lose their jobs. The doctors would say, the studies have shown that you need 1,000 milligrams of CBD daily, and you need to take that for 6 or 7 months, and you'd have 1/1000th of a percent to setting off a drug test. Our patches are 2 milligrams. With the other ones is 50. And so we've had tons of people drug tested, and in-home drug testing. There's nobody that's set off a test, and it's not going to happen. So that's just it's just not going to happen. So but we can't say that because a lot of people smoke marijuana, and then so there's there's a ton of people out there that do that. So I can't tell you that it's not going to happen. A lot of the false drug tests that they had right now, one of the things that's happening right now is the energy drinks are producing false positives. So that's been the biggest concern for people. So that's why we say emphatically we can't tell you that it's not going to set it off, but there's not enough CBD in there to to affect you.
Other questions? Good deal.
Bobbie, I'm sometimes asked, in my case, I saw relief from one part of my situation in about 3 weeks.
Right.
But oftentimes I'm asked, how long does it take to see relief?
Right. Good question.
Maybe you could kind of expand on that a little bit.
Okay, so his question is, why is it some people get relief like right away and some people it takes a while, right? It's a process. I always tell people, how long have you had this problem, right? And most of the time it's weeks, or for most people, years, right? Years. So I tell people, give it some time. At least, really with a patch, I would say at least 30 days, because we've actually seen people that didn't get relief until the 3rd week in, strangely enough, but it had to get into her system enough, and she finally was like, oh my gosh, I haven't slept in years, and she finally slept, and she thought, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. She was just so enamored with it, and she still stays on the product to this day. But some people, I mean, literally, Jason, within like 5 minutes of putting the patch on, he felt it. I thought I was mad at him, honestly. I was like, this isn't fair.
Life's not fair.
But I think for me, within like 2 hours, I was like, that calm was coming over me, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. So everybody is just, your body chemistry is different, you know? Your body chemistry is just completely different. All of us are unique individuals. Some people have inflammation going on, and sometimes that has to come down to a level to where, you know, you can actually feel it to experience it.
I mean, a lot of people, I've heard her say this a million times, you got to put in the good and then detox the bad. And so a lot of times we're clogged, our systems are so clogged up, you know, and especially with all, you know, with all the toxins that we have like stored in our body. I've heard her say a million times that there's 300 toxins that we have to deal with on a daily basis that are in our system. So that does affect your health. It does affect the timeline with people. And sometimes when you take these products, the thing that you want it to help with at the very beginning is not the thing that the body is going to do. Like, for example, the CBD, a lot of times it affects the sleep first. You know, so you want this, but you're getting to sleep. But why sleep? Does anybody know why sleep is important?
It gives time for the body to heal.
Yeah, because you don't heal unless you sleep. You don't heal unless you get in that REM pattern. You do not heal. So with all these people that are not sleeping, they're having problems healing. So that's the reason why sometimes, like, oh, I have this pain. Well, and now so it takes time, guys. And so, but there's other people that slap the patch on, and next thing you know, they're just running around crazy. I mean, we have people that had surgeries, you know, low back botched surgeries that we put the patch on, right over the scar, and they haven't walked, you know, a mile in 2 or 3 years, and then within 2 or 3 weeks they're walking, and then so I mean the testimonies are their testimonials. We can't say that, you know, this is going to do anything for you, but again, if you put the right stuff inside your body can start responding better. So.
Yeah, and I would say if you don't feel anything right away, it's worth a try to go ahead and add another patch, or even if you have, I think that the Max in Tune is a great adjunct to the regular patch, because it's another 7 times the amount of CBD. Maybe you have an issue that's severe and your body needs that extra CBD to kind of overwhelm your system with the good, like Jason was saying. Because I know when we were in Phoenix, they gave us some to try of those Max patches, and I put one on. I was starting to get a migraine just because we were on the go, not able to drink and eat like we normally do. And literally within 15 minutes, I was feeling the relief from that because it was the 7 times the amount. So those are good to have as a backup, or even the CBD tea to maybe add in a little bit extra CBD, or the loading technique. That's another one, and that's on those pages if you guys are in the Facebook groups. But if you know about the loading where you keep on one patch. So say you put the patch on today, right? And today's your first day. Then tomorrow you're going to add in the next patch, right? So just don't take the old patch off. Leave it on. You can leave it on up to 3 to 4 days. Just make sure you kind of move it around so you're not going to get that skin sensitive in that area. And then on the 4th day, take the first patch off. So you're just getting every little bit, and that's called loading, out of those old patches. And sometimes that's enough to increase your the relief. I'm sure I see some nods of the head, so people have experienced that too, and sometimes that's what you need. Okay.
Are there any concerns to think about with the moringa or the CBD with other maybe medications that somebody is on?
Okay, good question. Her question is, are there concerns when someone's on other medications with taking the moringa or the CBD patches? And this, we always refer you back to your doctor, but what I usually tell people is, it's food, and so if your doctor says you can eat healthy food, you're probably okay, but at the same time, definitely refer to them because you probably are going to need less medication, and that's what we typically see. So you're going to need them to help you with decreasing that dose when you need to of those different medications.
And plus, a lot of people ask us about, especially with CBD, with the oil CBD, it does go through your liver and your gut. And with the patch, it bypasses that. So that's usually what affects the medication, is when it has to process through that. So we don't have that issue with the patch and with the moringa. So that's another thing that is helping people not have any side effects with their medication. But it makes your body work better. This is what it's going to do. And I know the number one question comes up. The number one for medication is Coumadin. You just, if you're going to do this, you do need to tell your doctor, and that you're doing this, and so that you can monitor your levels, because you will need less, and then you could go from there. But as chiropractors, we can't tell anybody to get off any type of medication. But that's going to be your decision, and because it's ultimately your body. Whether you need it or not. I mean, especially with people that have like diabetes, and other heart disease, you're testing your stuff every single day. I mean, you're testing your blood pressure, you're testing your blood level, your glucose levels, and so if it's doing better, then it's doing better. I mean, your body's starting to regulate. So that's just something that you're going to have to do on your own and with the help with your doctor. But all this information, guys, is for you guys to start empowering you to make better decisions and even more healthy decisions for your future.
Yeah, hold on one second. And I heard that it's 200 milligrams is the kind of the threshold where they may see drug interactions, but anything underneath that, you typically don't. So that's kind of the threshold. Obviously, we're not going anywhere.
That's a CBD.
And that's a CBD, not moringa. So again, refer to your doctor, but I mean, for the most part, it's food.
If you're taking 200 milligrams of CBD a day, we need to talk. For one, you're rich. No.
Okay.
I need a lot. No.
Ms. Sharon?
I wondered, in this day and age, the anxiety that's around and the depression,
Mm-hmm.
can you say, like how soon someone could get some relief from that with the patches and the moringa?
Typically, that's what we hear first, is that people experience. Do you want to answer that, Jennifer?
Sure.
Go ahead. She's got a great story.
I've been on the patches for 60 days around. I've been on the patches for 60 days, and I've took off my anxiety medication.
Yes, isn't that awesome? So that right there lets you know that it is helping people. And I know that was the first thing I experienced. I was kind of actually the first day I put the patch on, I was dealing with the flu bug, unfortunately. But I just felt this amazing calm come over me, and I thought, wow. But that's what we typically hear, is that people experience that first, is the calm. And I think it just calms that nervous system right down. It gets you back into balance. Like we always say, if you are a 9 or even a 3 and you're way low, your body is always trying to get back to that balance, that midline of 5. So the CBD, what it's doing, like he said in that video, is feeding that endocannabinoid system to bring you back to more of the middle. And that's typically what we see.
We're all chemically imbalanced. Okay, so I mean that's my problem. That's everybody else's problem.
Amen.
Yeah, Ellie here. Yeah, so but we're all, because this endocannabinoid system controls the nervous system. It controls the brain. And so if you don't have that firing, that chemical system going to your brain, it doesn't allow you to, like, there's dopamine and serotonin that's within your brains. It helps modulate those areas. It helps modulate the reuptake of some of those vital neurotransmitters that allows you to not be anxiety, that allows you to come out of depression. That's what it is, and that's why we need CBD on a daily basis, so that we could have the balance inside of our brain and have good brain health. Because mental illness is one of the biggest things that we see, especially around this area. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it's just like that. Suicide is rampant around this area. And so it's a big deal. So we need to get our brains chemically balanced again. And this is a natural way that we can start that process. And now, as I go on with that, what's another big epidemic we have in this area? Opioids. 130 people are dying a day from that.
What are opioids?
Huh?
What are opioids?
They're painkillers, basically. And then it leads to other problems. And so, and that's just the people that are dying, but thousands are going into rehab facilities a day. And so we've had several testimonials, and when you start modulating these pain and inflammation receptors with the CBD and the moringa, that people are getting off pain medications and anti-inflammatories. And so, if you want to hear more testimonies about that, there's groups that we're a part of. If you guys are not a part of our CBD Squares and Tips group, you need to be a part of it. And there's several testimonies on there. So that's another thing that we're really fighting in this area.
One other thing to that, Sharon, I think the place to put it, really, if they were dealing with anxiety, the first place I put it, right over the heart area. Yeah, because just think, it's going to take a little longer if you put it on your back to get to, those areas. So I would definitely put it right over the heart area, and you could kind of rotate it to different spots that are close by, but that's where I would put it if they're dealing with anxiety. This other spot, even though this is a thin-skinned area, it's still another really good spot to get into your system, and that typically is very helpful for anxiety also.
And if their spouse is bothering you, you could put it over their mouth. That's another good spot for it. Anybody else have Cheyenne?
Question on the max. You say 7% or 7 times stronger. What about the THC in it?
It's 4.3.
It's still.
It's industrial hemp. The strength is in the quality of the actual milligrams, not in the an increase in the THC. So it's 15 times stronger. The little patch is 2 milligrams. The Intune Max patch is 15 milligrams. So it's a little over 7 times stronger. And thank God it's only 4 times more expensive. What? That's the truth.
Just being honest.
Yeah, if you're going to find out one time or another. Huh? Okay. All right. We've got time for one more question.
I have a question. Have you read anything about, for anxiety and depression, using, some of the other herbal medications with the CBD or the moringa, like St. John's wort?
But the other herbs? Yeah.
Well, using, we'll just say St. John's wort, because that is a good herb. Could you do that with using the CBD?
I'll talk to you about that after this. Yeah, it's just it's.
I didn't know.
Have I read? No, I haven't read anything that said St. John's wort and CBD together. Yeah, but we've had several people that are on several. When you have anxiety and depression, you've tried a lot of natural remedies and other things, and the whole part of it is that we got to get your system balanced out,
Right.
and that's what the CBD does.
Right.
So we get back with that.
Frankincense and lavender are good.
So there's a lot of different things that we could talk about.
Get their
Okay.
nutrition.
Go ahead, one more.
Do you get the same benefits than the tea as opposed to the patch?
What's CBD? Yeah, so it's gonna get you. It's a different delivery system. You got to understand the biggest deal with the greatest medical discovery that we have a balancing system is that when you drink the tea, it's only 20% absorption. So when you eat a gummy, it's less, 20%. When you put it underneath your tongue, it's 6 to 8%. But when you have it's transdermal patch, it's 100%. So it is, and so that's the reason why it's a good adjunct, with it, and just like other products that we have that helps with whatever problems you have. So the patch is the main one, and then if you want more, help sleeping. I love it. If you had a stressful day, take some tea at the end of the night, and He can knock you out. Sweet dreams. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys.